see. I'm very tired. The reason is because while last night was better than the 2 nights before last night, my insomnia has been kind of rough lately. Like I said, the 2 nights before last night, I had a real rough. You know, every night though, every night I have insomnia. I can't stay asleep ever. Okay, but just a second, guys. Hi, Noah. Hi, come here, baby boy. Whatever. So he screams at me, I pet him a little, and then whatever. Now he's screaming again. Whatever. Just he doesn't know. Seriously, he screams at me for attention. Then I pet him, and he walks away. And so I can't pet him because I can't reach him, and blah blah blah. And then he starts screaming again. Dude, you're way over there. I can't reach you. Skip. But anywho, I was inspired by my insomnia the past couple of nights, and by, you know, all the people say to and never say to videos out there, to do my own. 'Cause I don't think there's one out there yet about, you know, what people say to chronic insomniacs. Now, just a little backstory. I've had it since I was little. Okay, I've had insomnia every night since I was little. And my doctor says that it'll never go away. So, I just have to, you know, live with it. You know, there's ways to help make it easier on myself, of course, but I can't make it go away if, you know, I guess it's just, you know, yeah, I'm stuck with it. But anywho, here's my first ever people say to video, and it's stuff people say to insomniacs. Wait, no, it's not that. It's stuff people say to chronic insomniacs. Now, I make a point of saying chronic insomniacs because, you know, some people have it, you know, once in a while, like, you know, when they travel or they have too much caffeine before bed, or, you know, whatever. Not here. No, it's been going on for a long time now, years and years of this, and it's never going to stop. So, you know, it's not like a once in a while thing for me. You know, some people have, like, you know, occasional insomnia. You know, I have chronic insomnia. Alright. So, stuff people say to chronic insomniacs. Oh, with responses to some of them. Alright. Stuff people say to chronic insomniacs. You're gonna die young if you don't get some sleep. Thanks. Oh yeah! I have insomnia when I have too much caffeine. Cut down on your caffeine intake. Then maybe you'll sleep. I barely ever have caffeine. When I have caffeine, it's way early in the day. It's like, you know, like I have set hours, like, you know, from like 8 to like 12. That's it. Okay? Maybe you should try going to bed later. Tried that, didn't work. You're gonna wind up in the hospital. Thanks. Did you know that can increase your risk for Alzheimer's? Thanks. I knew that. Doesn't mean it'll go away. Oh, wow! You have chronic insomnia? But how do you have chronic insomnia? Isn't that like a once in a while thing? For some people, it's a once in a while thing, but the term chronic refers to it being an ongoing thing. Alright? Thanks. Watch what you eat before you go to bed. No more caffeine for you. No caffeine for you. Go to bed later. You're gonna wind up in the hospital in a straitjacket. That can increase your risk of dementia, depression, schizophrenia. Don't you know that if you don't sleep enough, your brain cells are gonna die? Thanks. Real great. So you have trouble falling asleep, right? I forget. Do you have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep? Staying asleep. I have trouble staying asleep. Oh, yeah? I so have that too. I so know what it's like because I can't fall asleep until like 11 o'clock. Okay, well, how about staying asleep? How are you at that? You know, it's different. You know, there are different kinds of insomnia out there, you know, with their own different features. There's the kind where you have the problems with, there's kinds where you have problems falling asleep, there's kinds where you have problems staying asleep, and there's kinds where you have problems with both. There's kinds that, you know, it's temporary, and kinds where it's permanent, and stuff like that. You know, there's all different kinds of insomnia, so you don't know what my experience is like if you just have trouble falling asleep. You know, I don't have trouble falling asleep. I have trouble staying asleep. So you don't know what that's like if you just have trouble falling asleep. Okay? It's different, actually. I've never had, well, I can't say I've never had trouble falling asleep, but, you know, it's only once in a while when I'm really stressed out or something that I have trouble falling asleep, but usually it's like, poof, just lay my little head down on the pillow. And then in the middle of the night, woo, thought party! Have you tried melatonin? Yep, didn't work. Have you tried reading a book when you can't sleep? Yeah, believe it or not, that didn't work. Everyone suggests read a book, read a book, read a book, read a book when you can't sleep. That works for a lot of people, but for some reason, and I think it's just because, you know, I'm so into reading that I'll just sit there and I'll forget to go back to sleep, and my brain will be like, woo, super awake, and I'll get so engrossed in reading, la 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 la, so and so did this and this, and then I won't sleep. So, yeah. Yeah, there's no chance of me getting back to sleep if I read a book. I've tried it many times. You know? Have you tried making your room really dark? Yes. Yes, I have. Well, maybe you should stop worrying so much about stuff. Maybe then you'll sleep. It's not always worrying, okay? You know, for me, it's just a bunch of random thoughts in general. My brain decides to have a thought party in the middle of the night for some crazy reason. I love my brain, but it drives me crazy sometimes. So, yeah, it's not always worrying. It's, all the thoughts, even the happy ones going on all at once. Like, wah, wah, you know? Yeah. Have you tried ZQL? Yep. Have you tried laying down? Really? Yes. Huh. Well, that's rough. Yeah, it's rough. Well, sleep more. The very definition of insomnia is you can't sleep more. Okay? The som part, that means sleep, and then in this case refers to not, like the absence of, not, non, can't, that whole idea, you know? Yeah. And then there's some other ones too. But I think I'll leave it at that for now. Oh wait, no. Let's do one more actually. Maybe you should decrease your sugar intake. Just really, really, people. Alright, so that's stuff people say to chronic insomniacs. I might make a sequel to this video, but in the meantime, whether I do or I don't, yeah. See ya. Wish me luck.